नमस्ते एवरीवन। नवीन विचारों के बिना शिक्षा अधूरी है और सुधार के बिना समाज। एजुकेशन इज इनकम्प्लीट विदाउट न्यू आइडियाज एंड सोसाइटी विदाउट रिफॉर्म। A very warm good evening and a warm welcome to all of you to track 1.2 of this e-conference. Good afternoon, esteemed guests, distinguished delegates, and participants of CTPD Con Era 2024. Welcome to the second International E-Conference on Educational Reforms and Advancements, proudly brought to you by the Council for Teachers' Professional Development in partnership with an array of prestigious institutions from across India. Our collaborating partners include K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram, Galgotia University, Greater Noida, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad, Satyug Darshan Institute of Education and Research, Faridabad, DAV PG College, Dehradun, Institute of Teacher Education, Faridabad, Thakur Sham Narayan College of Education and Research, Mumbai, Sanjay Teachers Training College, Jaipur, as well as Social Development and Research Foundation, India, and Council for Teacher Foundation, India. Together, we are ready to explore the cutting-edge developments and transformative innovations shaping the future of education. And I'm very pleased to introduce the moderator for today's technical session 1.2, Ms. Rosie Tiga, Assistant Professor, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad. Welcome you, ma'am, and I request you to please proceed further. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakshi ma'am. Namaste all. Welcome to CTPT Con Era 2024. I am Rosie Tiga, Assistant Professor, Saraswati College of Professional Studies, Ghaziabad, and it's a great honor for me to be the moderator for this educative technical session of CTPT Con Era 2024 Track 1 on the theme Indian Knowledge System, Explaining the Past, Embracing the Future. The sub-theme of this technical session 1.2 is Indian Knowledge System for Action, Building a Sustainable and Equitable Vikshit Bharat. Today's session is about how ancient wisdom meets modern education to create a Vikshit Bharat that thrives on inclusivity, innovation, and balance for future generations. We have eminent speakers and paper presenters who shall be sharing their expertise and insights in this field. I am delighted to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed chair, Dr. Ram Prasad Bhatt Sir, Reader and Senior Scholar School, Indology, University of Hamburg, Department of Culture and History of India and Tibet, Hamburg, Germany, and co-chair Dr. Anuj Sir, Professor and Head, Department of Education, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut, for gracing us with their presence and leading this significant session at CTPT Con Era 2024. I warmly welcome our convener, Dr. Jugnu Khattar Bhatia Ma'am, Conference Organizing Secretary, Secretary Finance, CTPD Program Director, IKS Circle, CTPD, and Principal Satyug Darshan Institute of Education and Research, Faridabad, Haryana. I extend a warm welcome to the co-convener of Track 1.2, Dr. Sakshi Varmani Rishi Ma'am, Associate Professor, School of Psychology and Education, Rishiwood University, Sonipat, Haryana. I warmly welcome Sunita Arora Ma'am, Principal, Institute of Teachers Education, Faridabad, Haryana. Now it's time for a plenary session. I feel honored to introduce you to Dr. Sunita Arora Ma'am, Principal, Institute of Teachers Education, Faridabad, Haryana. May I request and invite you, ma'am, to please present an overview of the plenary session track 1.2.
Yeah, very good evening. Namaskar. Honorable Chair, Dr. Ram Prasad Bhatt, Co-Chair, Dr. Anuj, and convener of this track, Dr. Jugnu Khattar Bhatia, my co-host and co-convener, Dr. Sakshi Virmani Rishi, moderator of this session, Ms. Rosie Tiga, and all the participants present here. A very warm good evening to one and all present here. Today, I'm honored to present the overview of this session, which focuses on the theme Indian Knowledge System for Action, Building a Sustainable and Equitable Bharat. This theme invites us to reflect on the vast, untapped potential of Indian knowledge system and how they can be leveraged to create a more sustainable and equitable future for Bharat. Indian knowledge system are not just ancient traditions but living wisdom capable of addressing some of the most pressing challenges of today, be it sustainable agriculture, holistic healthcare, social justice, or environmental care. IKS offers a wealth of knowledge that is deeply rooted in harmony with nature and society. And this session will explore practical ways in which this wisdom can be adapted to modern challenges and integrated into our efforts to build a sustainable and equitable Bharat. Today, we are privileged to have with us Dr. Ram Prasad Bhatt as the chair of this session. Dr. Bhatt is a reader and senior scholar in Indology at the Department of Culture and History of India and Tibet, University of Hamburg, Germany. His deep expertise in Indian epistemology, culture, and history makes him an invaluable guide for this session as we delve into the relevance of IKS in today's world. Our co-chair for this session is Dr. Anuj, who is a professor in the Department of Development Education, and work in the development education brings a unique and critical perspective to this session, particularly in the realm of equity and inclusive education. And this session will feature a series of presentations from eminent scholars, followed by an interactive discussions. Through this presentation, we aim to shed light on the both theoretical and practical dimensions of applying IKS to modern challenges. In conclusion, this session will allow us to look at how the wisdom of the past can inspire and inform the future of India, providing both sustainable solutions and pathways to equity for all. We look forward to the enriching discussions and insights that will emerge today. Once again, welcome to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time to introduce to our esteemed chair. It's my honor to introduce our esteemed chair, Dr. Ram Prasad Bhatt, sir, reader and senior scholar, School Indology, University of Hamburg, Department of Culture and History of India and Tibet, Hamburg, Germany. Sir has been teaching and doing research work in Europe for the last 21 years. He started teaching Hindi to foreign students from Landau Language School, Missouri, and since 2001 has been teaching Hindi in Europe and doing research on Hindi language and literature, Indian society and culture, and Indian folk literature. Since 2006, Dr. Bhatt sir has been organizing the Hindi intensive study course every year at the University of Hamburg, in which more than 500 students and scholars from various countries of Europe have participated so far. Dr. Bhatt sir is also involved in the German translation of Hindi literature and has translated many Hindi stories and poems into German so far. He has also served as a guest scholar in many universities of Europe and has presented his research papers in more than 20 international conferences. For his service to Hindi, the Madhya Pradesh government has honored him with the prestigious Nirmal Verma Award in 2018. Apart from this, he has been organizing World Hindi Day on a large scale at Hamburg University every year for the last 17 years, in which students, NRIs, and common Germans participate. With your guidance, we are confident that this session will be a resounding success, leaving a lasting impact on all participants. May I invite Dr. Ram Prasad Bhatt sir to deliver his address.
Good evening to all of you from Venice. Currently, I'm a visiting professor at the University of Venice, and that's why you see the background of the university. It's a beautiful town, and of course, also a prestigious university, pretty old university. So thank you very much for this generous introduction, Dr. Tigaji. I hope I pronounce your name properly because it's all India is huge and we have so many languages. So I have the experience always that sometimes the pronunciation is really difficult. So first of all, I would really like to thank Professor Gupta for inviting me for this prestigious and very preliminary round of talks and group of people. I'm really pleased to know about this because usually you come across to people, those who are indulged in kind of popular, I'm sorry to use this term, discourses or online, talks, and that doesn't bring much to my knowledge, unfortunately, or to our students. But it's really very appreciable what you are doing. And I was not aware of this, to be very honest. And when I saw that so many people are involved from various walks of life and disciplines, it makes it rather important. And next time, if you inform us on time, I believe that the students from Europe should also join. That would be really good. So thank you once again. So without taking much of your time, I will start. Well, I must thank also Dr. Arora and Professor Anuji and all of you, those who are involved in this program. Unfortunately, I cannot name each and every person because there are a number of you, I'm sure, those who have put a lot of efforts and invested a lot of time and energy in organizing this wonderful event. So thank you once again and inviting me, of course, for sure. So I will start with the topic that you have addressed or you have given here. It's a wonderful topic, and I'm sure that we can learn a lot from this. And who would know better about the classical Indian knowledge system and the modern India than the scholars in Germany. So I'm a very small person in that sense, but you know that the Germans have worked very in classical Indian knowledge system. And you will be amazed to know that all over Europe, even in here at this university, most Indologists are coming from German universities, including my university from Hamburg. So it's really a good, I think, good news for me at least. And I saw also people from Dehradun, from DAV College. I have been visiting DAV. I did my B.Ed, by the way, from DAV College, Dehradun. So I'm also happy to have people, here from that point of view. So, ma'am, if you allow me, so I would like to just share a little. I hope it works. Can you see something here?
Yes, yes, sir, it's visible.
So I hope it will work. So it's a very interesting topic and a rather important topic, of course. And the people at Chicago have been indulging with this topic a lot, but also at Harvard, for example, Professor Witzel. And some of them are, of course, also controversial in some sense because it lacks some kind of cultural background, and that's why it becomes a bit difficult. But nevertheless, a lot of research has been done, and people are trying to implement those factors or those knowledge keys that are available in classical Indian knowledge system in Europe since long already. And I will name just one or two of them later on. But just to see the slide here, I mean, it's a huge area of studies, and you will be amazed to know that some people, I know some professors here, they are really very much into this, and people work very hard into things, but original. And then I come to the point, there are few points, I will give you a few key points like originality. That means, what is the original source? Do we really have it, and can we consult that, or do we really consult those original works or not? Or do we rely on translation only? Or even second, third kind of translation. And that makes a huge difference, because I see discussions going on in India, even in Indian politics, or since I am fortunately or unfortunately also I'm currently a member of NCERT India. So I see what happens there, and we really need to look into these kind of topics to integrate that knowledge system that is available already in our system, but unfortunately is not consulted or not considered at all. And that is a pity for me, for being an Indian, being born in the Himalayas and coming and working in the European university and seeing what they are doing actually. So sometimes I have a feeling that they do much better work than we in India, and they appreciate our work or our knowledge system much better than we Indians in India itself. So that's one only a criticism from my side. So the topic is rather vast, and you are using the knowledge system, but also building sustainable and equitable Vikshit Bharat. Vikshit Bharat, of course, is a vision which should be there and must have been there already. But of course, we also need to consider what costs and what is needed to this. And the popular studies or the political or sociologist would develop, or the economists, they have particular factors for considering a nation or an economy what is developed. So there are few of them, and education is one of the most important factor to of course development. So if we are not receiving a quality education or critical learning system, then of course all other factors are also affected. I mean, imagine if I don't have a good teacher, and then I produce a student who is really a second-rate or third-rate student. That would not bring us to the point that we are actually willing to achieve. And then of course the methods that we apply, the approaches we apply to look into the factors or for innovation or whatever, like poverty or the development in social development or equity, whatever is there, then it will also be affected. So I think these factors need to be considered. And the four factors, which is very important, and that I think the Indian Prime Minister also stressed on these factors: human, social, economic, and environmental development. And the environmental point of view or social point of view or human point of view are already available, and even economic point of view or in Indian classical literature or knowledge system. Remember Vidur Niti, Vidur, the politic, the Vidur from Mahabharata, and Chanakya Niti. These two works are very much used in Western discourses, even in multilateralism and international relationship, in economic development and innovation. You will be amazed to know how much these works are being used in Europe. And not only that, even yoga and Ayurveda, these are also being used today very much by the management gurus. And the term guru is also used. And then I come to this graph here by Hofstede. I think many of you know him. the cultural dimension, and there are different factors. And I hope that the scholars who are indulging in research and especially in modern India and relating classical India to modern and then going further into that, then we would like to, or we need to, integrate such kind of theoretical work as well, as because that will allow us to go develop further and present our work in a different way to understand itself. So what I was saying, Vidur Niti and Chanakya Niti, they put a lot of stress on education itself. But there are other two important issues which we really need to adapt very much, I think, and it was there already because I was born in a village and I know it from my village or village life, where you see, we all know there was a time when somebody promised something to other person, or a family promised to something to other family, or a village promised something to other village. It was kept. The promise was kept always. Yeah, like daughters, and when the marriage was there. So the father said, well, my daughter will marry your son, and the promise was kept. Why I'm saying this, of course, I don't want that the young girls are married off. No, that's not the point. My point is here to bring your attention to the factor that is honesty. Because the honesty is needed in our life, and not only in daily life, but in our works, in our research, in our, whatever we do, whatever we present, whatever we write, that is very much needed. One example I can give you from this country, from Germany, now I'm in Italy, that our defense minister, it's a very young man, he was a wonderful scholar, but somebody, when he became defense minister, somebody started researching his work, his PhD thesis, and the thesis was lacking some kind of references. He did not give the references correctly. So it became an issue, a very huge issue, that he had to step down and leave Germany for Canada. And then 5 years long, he did not come back to Germany because he was so ashamed of this fault. So that is the gravity of such kind of, a system. So if we don't have this kind of system, of course, you see the bridges are breaking down or falling. So who is responsible for that? The engineers. And where did the engineer come? From our education system. So this is all connected to each, point, and whether it is the conclusion in the end or in the beginning that we initiate something. And you see, when you read Vidur Niti or you read Manusmriti, I know some people will, draw their eyebrows that I'm mentioning Manusmriti, but I must admit that Manusmriti is not necessarily only bad. No, please read it. What is there? There are so many important sutras for life, for development, for social life, for politics. It is amazing work. So please don't just throw it in dustbin, that saying, oh, something is very awkward in that work, and without reading it, original work, that you dismiss something. So that is not the scholarship for me. And that is what is the difference between Eastern and Western school. I should not say Eastern, I should not generalize, but I'm just want to draw your attention to that we just say something and then it become popular, and then things don't work in that way. So popularism is one thing, but moral and ethical points are very important in scholarship and in education. And that's what I wanted to bring your attention to. So we know the importance of education better than the West. This I can tell you because I also read Western scholar and Western philosopher, of course. To teach Indology is not, this is maybe वो कहते हैं अपने मुंह मियाँ मिट्ठू बनना वाली बात है, लेकिन मैं सच कह रहा हूँ आपको कि यहाँ का विद्यार्थी आपको खड़ा कर देगा। वे बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े विद्वान आए हमारे यहाँ से, मैं नाम नहीं लेना चाहता, जो यूपीएससी के मेंबर भी रहे, जेएनयू के स्कॉलर्स हैं, बड़े बड़े प्रोफेसर्स, 2 दिन में उनका वो यहाँ से जाना पड़ा, हमारे छात्रों ने उनको रिजेक्ट कर दिया। तो ये इसलिए होता है क्योंकि हमारा जो तरीका है कहने करने का वो अलग होता है, और यहाँ जो तरीका है वो अलग होता है। लेकिन मैं ये कदापि नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि हमको सिर्फ इनका तरीका अपनाना चाहिए, नहीं, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है। हमको अपना तरीका इजाद करना है। वी हैव टू बी इनोवेटिव, वी हैव टू bring some kind of some kind new innovation, that we use our knowledge system in a way that we can convince people, of course, but we don't have to we don't have to convince everybody. No, that's not the case. But we need to bring their attention to that point, that it is not so as they understand. And there is a lot of misconception, I must say. I always, every day I have this problem also here. Yesterday there was a talk, and there was something going on about India and the problems there. But then again, you have to face these problems and tell people, hello, this is not the only thing. India is huge, and India has much more to offer, and not this small point that you are pointing out. So Guru is always has been always respected in our culture. But we see what is happening now. I don't want to talk about that, but sorry, I will be quicker. But what is happening now, that has to change, because the old system has been much better, and I can just compare it and tell you, any PhD scholar, any BA, MA student, when they study, it is a product of that teacher. And it is exactly what our gurus did earlier. It is a holistic development of the student. In the end, the credit also goes to the professor. So we already have it there. But here they are using it. In Germany, it is exactly the same. It is the teacher who is doing everything from A to Z. There we don't have UGC, we don't have any kind of system here. It is only the teacher who decides everything, and this is a holistic approach that the students can really profit from it, and in the end they are very, of course, successful. So I hope this discussion will bring us to what Manusmriti says, advir gatrani suddhanti manasatyena shuddhati vidyatapobhyam bhutatma buddhir jnanena shuddhati. So the body is cleaned by water, the internal organs are purified by truthfulness, what we call spirituality, by the way, the individual soul by sacred learning and austerities, and the intellect by knowledge. And by knowledge, I mean the discussion that will follow. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Your insights have left an indelible mark on us. Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time to introduce our co-chair, Dr. Anuj, sir. I feel privileged to introduce our esteemed co-chair, Dr. Anuj sir, Professor and Head, Department of Education, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut. With over 22 years of teaching experience, he specializes in educational technology, research methodology, evaluation and measurement, educational management, and psychology. He has supervised 6 PhD and 2 MPhil papers, 2 MPhil scholars, published over 30 research papers, and authored 3 books. Dr. Raj sir is an active member of several professional bodies and has contributed to national and international seminars. He has delivered and contributed to national and international seminars. He has delivered and contributed more than 40 lectures, papers in national and international seminars and conferences. He is a reviewer of various national and international reputed journals. He is a member of several professional bodies like AIATE, CTE, and GERA, etc. Previously, he served as Associate Dean and held academic leadership roles at various institutions. We eagerly anticipate the insights and discussion that will unfold under your guidance, sir. Now it's time for the paper presentation. With the permission of the chair and co-chair, I would like to start the paper presentation. Before that, I have a small announcement. We are pleased to announce that during the valedictory session, the Best Paper Presentation Awards, one from each plenary track session, will be announced. The evaluation criteria for the awards include content quality, clarity of presentation, effective use of visual aids, and time management. We kindly request the session chair and co-chair to submit the name of the best paper presentation from their session to the track convener for the final consideration. We now commence with the paper presentation. Let me reiterate and request the presenters to be concise and adhere to the time limit of 7 minutes for your presentation. Without further ado, I would like to invite Chair Dr. Ram Prasad Bhatt sir to officially commence this session. Co-chair, we look forward to your valuable contributions throughout the session and the dynamic synergy you will create with Chair Dr. Bhatt sir. Sir, can we start the presentation?
Please go ahead. It's time. Thank you very much.
The first paper presenter is Dr. Anjali Pandey. Anjali ma'am, you can start.
Yes, good evening to all. My name is Dr. Anjali Pandey, belonging to Rajbihari Board, University, Dehradun, and today I want to present my paper on the Indian knowledge system. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes. The potential of the Indian knowledge system for sustainable development, environmental conservation, and community-based problem solving. As we know, Indian knowledge system can be described as the wisdom cultivated by the local inhabitants of a particular environment, transmitted across generations via oral traditions, family networks, community ties, social groups, and other means for the effective management of the resources essential to their daily survival. From the literature, I have seen that Grainer cited in Mahalik and Mahapatra in 2010 that indigenous knowledge consists of the traditional knowledge of local communities developed within and around the specific conditions of indigenous men and women in a particular geographical area. Sharma 2014 adds the indigenous knowledge, also known as traditional or local knowledge, is deeply rooted in culture and unique to specific locations or societies, particularly among the rural poor. It is crucial for community decision making in food security, human health, animal life, education, and natural resource management. As we know that Basu also says that believes that indigenous knowledge resides in people's memories and their knowledges, old cultural and specific traditional things as we do in our traditions and festivals. As a result, one may encounter concepts such as sacred groves, sacred sites, and sacred forests or trees which align with their religious beliefs and practices, while promoting sustainable development by conserving these sacred resources. Additionally, indigenous knowledge is evident in daily life, encompassing agricultural activities, food security, land use, water management, forest products, crop cultivation, waste management, food preservation, and more. Today, the indigenous knowledge of local communities is vulnerable not only to globalization, developmental programs, and environmental threats, but also to the growing concept of private property, land, and forest right issues, power conflicts in natural resource management, gender disparity, the impact of modernization on traditional belief system, and the lack of knowledge transfer to young generations. There are so many objectives. I have selected few of them to explain the advantages of combining scientific and Indian knowledge system for sustainable development, to propose innovative approaches for enhancing indigenous techniques in our region through scientific methods to achieve sustainable development, emphasizing the significance of India's traditional knowledge system and their fusion with modern scientific methodologies to attain sustainable development goals. Here, Indian knowledge system and sustainable development has so many challenges. The challenge of sustainability is a pressing issue for developing countries like India, which must navigate the complexities of rapid economic growth while grappling with the widespread exploitation of its invaluable natural resources. India is home to diverse ethnic groups, racial stocks, cultural backgrounds, religious traditions, and social structures. Each group possesses its own unique indigenous knowledge system, believed to have been passed down through generations to sustainably manage their environment with future implications in mind. The application of indigenous knowledge spans a wide area of areas including water management, agricultural productivity, land use patterns, ethnomedicine, animal husbandry, food preparation and preservation, seed storage, environmental conservation, wealth prediction, human health, crop health, and food security for all. Now here we use so many terms with simple exchange of knowledge as mutual learning, here facilitating dialogue and mutual learning between scientists and holders to traditional knowledge to exchange ideas, methodologies, and best practices. Adaptive management is that incorporating traditional ecological system into adaptive management frameworks to enhance resilience and sustainability in natural resource management. Here, policy and governance role is also very important. They can integrating traditional knowledge into policy and governance framework to ensure culturally appropriate and effective decision-making process. Conservation and resource management, utilizing traditional knowledge for sustainable practices in agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and biodiversity conservation. Community engagement is also very essential because all things are going for them, empowering communities to participate in decision making process and sustainable development initiatives based on their traditional knowledge system. Conservation of environment is a broad term that encompasses any action that advances the goal of ensuring sustainability for the planet. Ultimately, people strive to assist the planet in surviving naturally and without negative impacts from human activity. Protecting and maintaining the planet's safety and health is referred to as a conservation. The approach reflects concern that human encroachment on the environment, driven by agriculture, industry, housing, tourism, and other developments, is rapidly transforming wild landscapes. At the national level, Article 14A of the Indian Constitution mandates the state to protect and enhance the environment and ensure the conservation of the country's forest wildlife. Article 50A G, subsection G of the Indian Constitution places a constitutional duty on Indian citizens to protect and enhance the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to show compassion for all living creatures. The UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, endorsed by the Human Rights Council in June 2006, recognizes that respecting indigenous knowledge, culture, and traditional practices contribute to sustainable and equitable development and the proper management of the environment. There is a wealth of knowledge to be gained from India's indigenous knowledge system. Academics, policymakers, and planners alike should prioritize this invaluable reservoir of knowledge, which is at risk of being lost. Transitioning towards interactive technology development rather than relying solely on traditional technology transfer approaches may require us to glean insight from our local experts at the village level, who are the custodian of India's knowledge systems. Community knowledge encompasses both traditional and scientific knowledge. The Indian knowledge system is sustainable, having evolved over thousands of years through observation and experience. This type of knowledge creates a holistic relationship between human and nature, supporting life in a sustained manner. However, globalization has led to the neglect and gradual extinction of this knowledge. Scientific knowledge, which has developed over a few hundred years, is rooted in traditional knowledge, while the development process driven by science and technology is faster. It has often been harmful to the environment, as seen in the global environmental crisis. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Anjali. The next paper presenter is Dr. Girish Chandra Behra, Assistant Professor, Salabala Women's Autonomous College, Cuttack, Odisha. Ma'am, kindly make Girish Chandra Behra as a co-host.
Done.
So you can start the presentation.
Madam, Miss Prananti Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor in Botany Teacher Education, is the co-paper presenter, and she is going to present the paper. Please give her the access. Did you get the access?
Yes, you can start. Priyadarshini.
Yes. Namaskar, good evening. Respected chairperson, distinguished organizer, and paper presenter, we, Mr. Girish Chandra Behra and Ms. Pranati Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor, Teacher Education in Salabala Women's Autonomous College, Cuttack, Odisha, express our gratitude to CTPD for this marvelous opportunity. The title of our paper is integrating Indian philosophies to promote quality education. Let me share my screen. Please let me know, is it visible?
No, ma'am, it's not visible. Only some pictures visible there.
Now,
No, ma'am, it's not.
I have already shared this PPT with the CTPT mail also.
So Rosie ma'am, please see if her PPT is with you.
No, ma'am, I have not received any PPT in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Not in WhatsApp, in a CTPT mail ID. Still, it is not visible.
No, ma'am.
Let me try once again. I have the access to share.
Yeah, you are the co-host. You can share.
Ma'am, can it be possible if she shares on your WhatsApp?
Ma'am, it will take time to.
Okay, so
She
we
can
can
start.
go with the next one.
Please wait for 2 minutes, or
Okay.
because our college is closed. I am inside the college.
Okay.
Please let me share. I am trying.
Madam, can she continue with her papers?
Shakshi ma'am, can she continue without the presentation?
If she is not able to present, and if you will, you have not have her, PPT with you, then we'll, yes, we can ask Ram sir.
Can forward the PPT even on this podium. I think with the she has to go to share here only, and it will be fine if she can maybe share the PPT in PPT format, and then somebody can present here. I mean, display here only.
Okay, I can request Mr. Girish Chandra Behera to share the PPT.
Do you know how to do it? You just
Yes,
have to
yes,
go to
yes.
file.
I know, but I could not find the file right now.
Okay.
Rosie ma'am, can we do one thing? In the meantime, she'll share the PPT with you on WhatsApp. We can go with the next candidate. After that, again, we'll call her. Can it be possible?
Yeah, yeah.
Please check now.
Abhi bhi it's not visible, and I think you're not able to share, Priyadarshini.
Okay, okay.
You
You
do
can
one
go.
thing. आप अपनी PPTs जो है रोजी मैम को WhatsApp कर दीजिए.
अच्छा,
Share your
okay.
PPT with Rosie ma'am. We can go with the next candidate, and उसके बाद we'll call you again.
लास्ट टाइम थोड़ा चेक कीजिए, अभी भी शो नहीं कर रहा है गिरीश सर के वेबसाइट से.
We will
Still
go
it
with
is not
the
showing.
next. प्रियदर्शनी मैम, आप थोड़ा वेट कर लीजिए, तो आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप कीजिए. विल गो टू
Okay, okay.
नेक्स्ट प्रेजेंटेशन से हम स्टार्ट कर दे. नेक्स्ट प्रेजेंटर इज मर्सी फर्नांडिस, स्टूडेंट शिवाजी यूनिवर्सिटी कोल्हापुर महाराष्ट्र.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Ma'am, kindly make a co-host.
She is already co-host.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, Mercy, it's visible.
Okay. Am I visible?
No, you're not visible.
Okay, let me check. Ma'am, can I start?
Yes, Mercy, you can
Hello?
start.
Yeah, thank you. So hello everyone. Myself Mercy Fernandez. I'm student of B.Ed. Integrated Program from Department of Education, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. So the title for my today's presentation is Vedas to Vikshit Bharat, utilizing the Indian knowledge legacy for achieving sustainable development. And this is to promote the quality education, that is the SDG goal 4. So the outline for my today's presentation is introduction, objectives, review of literature objective-wise, methodology, then objective-wise analysis and conclusion and references. So let us begin with introduction. This Indian knowledge system is also known as Bharatiya knowledge system. What makes it IKS? So the approach of different darshanas as well as the Indian art, dance, education whole come together and make it IKS. The IKS can act as a driving force for sustainable development. Now the question arises, why this sustainable development is needed and what is sustainable development? So the development that meets the demand of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. These Indian knowledge system and sustainable development are correlated. These we will be seeing in the future slides. The objective of my study was to discuss the origin of Indian knowledge system and its philosophical school of thoughts, to study the Indian knowledge system and how to achieve the sustainable development through it, the role of Indian knowledge system in achieving the quality education that was SDG goal 4. So these are the reviews which I have used for the objective 1, that is to discuss the origin of Indian knowledge system and its philosophical school of thought. And these review have made me to understand the classification of Indian knowledge system, that is the Indian school of philosophy, which can be broadly classified into Astic and Nastic. These were the reviews which were used for the second objective, that is the study of Indian School of Philosophy to achieve sustainable development. For that, these review articles were used, and it helps to highlight the UN SDG goals as well as Indian School of Philosophy, which includes the Vedas as mentioned above. There are 4 subsidiary Vedas like Ayurved, Dhanurved, Gandharved, and Shilpved, which I have taken into consideration while writing or while collecting the articles for the objective 3. And these article highlights the UN goals for SDG according to 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, as well as IKS for holistic development, multidisciplinary learning, and as well as preserving this cultural heritage. These highlights how Indian knowledge system play a vital role in achieving SDG goal 4, that is quality education. So this was all about review of literature. The methodology which I used was review strategy. For that, firstly, I have searched in the Google database in general, then limited that search to English articles and focused on origin of IKS, philosophical school of thought, sustainable development, UN goals, Indian knowledge system and quality education, Vedas and Vikshit Bharat and NEP 2020. After that, I have refined the set of paper. In these, the articles which do not support the topic of interest were excluded out, and the set of reference was created with the relevant journal articles. After that, I have analyzed the article collected, and for that, articles were read and the important concepts and points were which supports the study were noted down with references, and objective-wise research procedure and conclusion were noted. Now let us go to the objective-wise analysis. So as the first objective was the origin of Indian knowledge system. For that, I have made this table to make it clear about the orthodox system, which is important in Indian knowledge system. So these are the schools of philosophy like Nyaya, Sankhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, Vedanta. And these I have noted the important feature of this school of philosophy. So you can just have a look on this because I am short of time, I guess. So these were objective wise important feature of different schools of philosophy. And these objective wise conclusion for these objective was that the study is fulfilled in which the Indian school of philosophy with the important aspects are mentioned in the above slide, which I have shown just you. These helps us to understand about the orthodox school of philosophy, that was Astic, and the supremacy of Vedas and Upanishada. And it also talks about the unorthodox schools and what are their differences. You can just have a look here. The second objective was to study the Indian school of philosophy to achieve sustainable development. For these subsidiary Vedas were studied, like Ayurveda, which deals with well-being in all aspects. So it deals with the SDG goal 4, like the SDG goals of UN were correlated with the subsidiary Veda. So biodiversity conservation, ecological balance, these are the principle of Ayurveda, which supports the SDG goal 15, that is land on life on land. Like that, the Dhanurved, which can be associated with the physical education because it requires to develop strength and fitness of the warrior. These can be linked with the UN Sustainable Development Goal 3, that is good health and well-being. These goal 4 also supports the Dhanurved. The next is Gandharv, which deals with power of music. And in this Gandharv, music helps in decreasing of the negative emotion. I have found many research papers which support this. And as well as this can be linked with the SDG goal 3, that is good health and well-being. Like that, the Shilp Shastra, which promote the inclusivity as there were no barriers between gender and classes when art are considered, which is an important part in achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 5, that is gender equality. So the objective-wise conclusion for the second objective, that is to study the Indian School of Philosophy to achieve sustainable development, are as follows. Like I have found the role of Ayurveda in achieving SDG Goal 8, 13 and 15, Dhanurveda and Gandharved in achieving Goal 3, and SDG Goal 5 and 3 are associated with Shilpa Shastra. The Veda means knowledge. There are 4 subsidiary Veda, that is Ayurveda, which is about medicine, Dhanurveda, which is about weapons, and the Gandharv, which is about music, Shilpa Shastra, which is about architecture. So these are the SDG goals which we were talking about in the previous slides. So the third objective deals with the Indian knowledge system in achieving quality education. These are the points which I have noted down from different research articles, like how this Indian knowledge system can be used to achieve the quality education. So the first is for holistic development. In these, integration of the traditional knowledge as well as values can be used. Multidisciplinary learning, which combines the elements from different disciplines, Vedic mathematics and science. Intellectual development. These are some of the points which I found to be interesting while reading the Indian knowledge system and relating it with SDG. The objective-wise conclusion for the third objective was that the third objective of the study fulfills the role of Indian knowledge system in achieving quality education, which help to highlight the contribution of IKS for holistic development, multidisciplinary learning, preserving cultural heritage, teacher training, as well as sustainable and environmental education. This is the conclusion. Like I have linked everything with Vikshit Bharat 2047 vision. which is to make India a developed nation by 2047. And education as a weapon can be used to develop this or to get the vision possible. So NEP 2020 success will lead to Vikshit Bharat, and NEP 2020 talks about the rich heritage of ancient Indian knowledge and guiding principle. It includes the promotion of Indian knowledge system and have transformed the Indian education system. The integration of IKS in NEP will be a roadmap to rich, diverse, and ancient and modern culture. Uh, this study will focus on how ancient India will, with Vedas to Viksit Bharat, will be a crucial role with respect to sustainable development. These are the references which I have used for making this presentation as well as paper. And thank you so much for patiently listening to me.
Thank you, Mercy ma'am. Ma'am, I've received the presentation of Priyadarshini ma'am. We'll go with Priyadarshini ma'am.
Okay.
I'm sharing. Priyadarshini ma'am.
Yes. Okay, shall I start?
Yeah, you can start.
Respected chairperson, distinguished organizers and paper presenters, we Mr. Girish Chandra Behra and Ms. Pranati Priyadashini expressing our gratitude to CTPD for giving us this opportunity to present our paper in this second international conference. Our topic is integrating Indian philosophies to promote quality education, sustainable development goal 4. The roots of the present lie in the past and the fruits of the present leads to the future. So present period constitutes the future of the past and the past of the future. When India is moving towards a developed nation, when we dream to make India the spiritual guru of the world, we cannot neglect our past, culture, heritage, and Indian knowledge system, without which it is quite impossible to achieve the target of being an ideal developed nation. The sustainable development goals need to be achieved in order to ensure the sustainable growth through quality education and skill-based training. The objectives of our paper is to understand the nature of Indian knowledge system, to establish relationship between knowledge and science, to understand different types of philosophies that exist in India, to enhance the essence of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Please change the slide. To understand the preachings of Sri Ramcharitmanas, to analyze the principles of Chanakya, and to analyze the Bhagavad Darshan for quality education. I have listed the rationale of this study in this PPT. Then next is review of literature. The slide is not moving.
Rosie ma'am, slides are not moving.
Just
Okay,
share a
these are
bit.
the objectives. Okay, next. Next, please.
Is it okay?
Is it okay? But I have completed the objectives. Next, we can go to the rationale.
After review of the literature is the methodology, then Indian knowledge system.
But ma'am, your
Yes,
slides are not moving.
Slides are not moving.
Please keep continuing.
Okay, rationale, then review. Okay, let's come to the Indian knowledge system. Our Indian knowledge system constitutes numbers of Puranas, Kavyas, stories. There are different sources, for example, Bhagavad, Mahapurana, 4 Vedas, 108 Upanishads, a number of Sanhitas, Smritis, 18 Puranas. It also includes Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Natya Sastra, Silpa Sastra, Bodha Sastra, Yoga Sastra, Jaina Sastra, Tantra Vidya, and other scriptures. From science to sociology, from public administration to public welfare, Every dimension of human life has been well described in Ramayana and Mahabharata. In our Indian philosophy, we know there are Sada Darsana, such as Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisesika, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. So it is the responsibility of parents, teachers, and guardians to encourage the students to attempt to develop their sense of consciousness to enter into the supernatural spiritual world. In our paper, we have given the periodical review of different periods, text, philosophers during that period. Let's come to the great Indian philosophers. In our paper, we have mentioned about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who advocated
Priyadarshini ma'am, you're not audible. Priyadarshini ma'am, you're not audible.
I think we lose the connection from the Priyadarshini, please.
Okay, let me continue. Am I audible?
Yeah. You
Yes,
are
yes.
audible. Yes.
B.R. Ambedkar's vision was to bring equity in society. J.D. Krishnamurti emphasized on importance of philosophy and education in solving the problems of society. In philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, we have mentioned the chapter 6 in Sloka 46. Krishna explains the power of yoga, how yoga supersedes the material world's desires. Then in Chanakya's philosophy, Chanakya discussed about the positive, negative dimensions of attitudes, its effects and precautions to deal with any situation and every aspect of life. For example, learning can fulfill the desire like Kamadhenu. We know about the Kamadhenu. It brings wealth everywhere. If we have the learning, then we can achieve everything in our life. He also mentioned about nature of water. We have also given the examples of qualities of a leader. Then preaches of Ramcharita Manas. Ayodhya Kanda Doha 27 in Chaupai 2. It's mentioned Raghukul Reet Sada Chali Aayi. So what does it mean? One should stand by one's promise even at the cost of one's life and sacrifice. Another Chaupai 16.3 of Sri Balkanda. It's mentioned Raghupati Kirati Bimal Pataka, explaining the qualities of younger brother. We know the stories of Rama and Lakshman. Then preachings of Bhagavad for lifelong education. Bhagavad talks about values of ashramic life, virtues of satsang, sadhana. There are 24 gurus in Abadhuta Jaduraja Sambat in the 11th skanda. We have given the details. So everything in the universe is a guru. We learn something from the others. Like from the earth, we learn endurance and tolerance. From wind, we choose the right path. From sky, it shows the stability. From water, we learn the affections. From fire, we learn to illuminate knowledge and destroy the evils. Likewise, we have mentioned 24 gurus represent a high standard of Indian philosophy in the Indian knowledge system to educate one and all irrespective of one's birth and profession. Let's conclude. Education is a continuous process which is not limited to one life but rather moves with the soul in the form of spiritual virtue, which is otherwise known as the fruits of tapa or sadhana. We should try to get initiated under a spiritual guru, without which it would be too difficult to achieve the quality education that exists in the spiritual world. Thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Thank you, Priyadarshini ma'am. The next paper presenter is Dr. Swati Negi. Dr. Swati Negi. Ma'am, she has messaged me that she will join by the name of Dr. Vidhi.
Again, please repeat the name, Doctor.
Vidhi, Vidhi, but it's not showing here, ma'am.
Yeah, she is not there. We can
Swati, are you present?
we can take the next one. Maybe she'll join after that.
The next presenter is Lubna Sadaf Naqvi, research scholar in NIMS University, Jaipur. Lubna Sadaf.
Yes, you can present.
लुबना सदाक आपको को होस्ट बना दिया गया है, आप प्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
You're audible.
Okay. Good evening to all the chairpersons and respected members here. I'm Lubna Sadaf Naqvi, and my topic of this conference is community approach to transgenders, education and society inclusion. So here I'm taking this subject of transgenders to make aware the people that what the transgender people are facing. Like in slide 2, this is the transgender population of India, where the ratio of transgender population I have shown, like where the population is very high, very medium, low, and high. So coming to the introduction, do people fit into a simple male or female category? So a society which denote that the people are of only for male and female gender. So here we have to come across that there are transgenders also who are engaged in this society. Gender diversity poses a challenge to the gender binary system. So gender diversity means each and every particular gender living in this country has a right to be the part of the system of either in education system or in job opportunities. In modern India, various transgender communities such as Hijra, Ardesh, Shaki, Jogata, Jogappas, and other continues to face several discrimination and harassment. The Transgender Person Protection of Right Act of 2019 requires educational institution to be inclusive and enroll transgender student in the mainstream of education. Those who identify as transgender are those who do not have a specific gender identity. They endure a great deal of hurt from being called by various derogatory and crucial names. Objective of this study is shedding illumination on some of the most pressing issues facing the transgender community and raising public consciousness of their challenges in India. To purpose all encompassing action to raise their standing. Methodology I have used is the secondary data which I have gathered from the website, publication and articles. Education, the key to change. Education is a key to changing society and the mindset of those who are stereotyped. Education promotes open-mindedness and positivity in society and being educated in a human right. The Indian Constitution guarantees the right to education, so children to 6 to 14 years should receive free and compulsory education. Transgender people are excluded from all of this because they do not fit into any societal category. The Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act of 2019 requires education institution to be inclusive and enroll transgender students in the mainstream of education. Then, absence of inclusion. The traditional education system in India has only allowed students of the male and female gender to attend classes. Transgender students are not accepted. The school binary paradigm leaves no space for what is considered to be different. Not only have transgender students faced difficulties because of society conservative and stereotype-filled mindset. Tamil Nadu was the first to provide free education stipend for deserving students pursuing higher education and the ration card to transgender people. Tamil Nadu Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And I have shown here the diagram in which we can see the states which have given the education votes to the transgender people. Then obstacle in India's transgender education system. Supreme Court designated them as a third gender. Transgender students need to be given the opportunities to study because they have a right to an education and society, and school need to shift the way they think about them. Mode of binary school. The state follows their laws to empower and help the transgender children get equal education benefit. They cannot relate to the dual gender model. Transgender children feel constrained and unable to express themselves. Socialization encompasses all individuals who inhabitate the planet. Here is the National Education Policy 2020 diagram which shows the Gender Equality Fund, Education Upliftment, Education Inclusion Fund, and Social Empowerment. In which
Interrupt. Kindly conclude. It's already 5 minutes. Kindly adhere to the time limit because we have more.
So the conclusion here is that like each and every gender is getting the right of education and right to live with dignity and liberty. So the transgender people are also the part of India, and they are also the citizen of India. So they should get the equal opportunity to the right of life, education, and various equality, freedom in India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lubna ma'am. And the next paper presenter is Dr. Francis Vaidya, Principal, Rahul College of Education, Maharashtra.
Has he joined?
Checking this. No, ma'am, Dr. Francis has not yet joined. We'll take the next presenter.
Yeah.
The next presenter is Dr. Parinika Sharma.
Yeah, she is there.
Scholar, Department of Educational Studies, Central University of Jammu.
Yes, ma'am.
Parinika is there, ma'am.
Yes.
You can start your presentation, Parinika.
Okay, ma'am. Let me share my screen first.
Kindly adhere to the time limit.
Sure, ma'am. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Please let me know when my slides are not moving. Okay. Namaskar. Good evening to all. My name is Parinka Sharma. I am from Central University of Jammu, and the title of my paper is Exploring the Possibilities of Strengthening the Role of IKS in Fostering Creativity and Social Innovations among Indian Youth, Building a Vivid Path for Vikshit Bharat. This paper has been guided by Professor G.N. Balia, professor from Central University of Jammu. The overview of my presentation is as follows: Introduction, Vikshit Bharat, Indian Knowledge System, NEP 2020 Vision, Literature Review, Research Questions and Objectives, Methodology, Findings and Discussions, Key Recommendations, Conclusions and References. इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम, भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा, जो कि एक जीवन जीने की एक शैली है, जो कि हमें भारत को हमारे विश्व गुरु बनाती है, और ये एक विजन है हमारा विकसित भारत का, जैसे कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी मोदी जी का ये सपना है, जो सपना आज हम सब भारत देशवासी देख रहे हैं कि 2047 में हमारा भारत विकसित भारत के रूप में आएगा, और इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम जो है वो इसका फाउंडेशन लेवल है, जो कि इस पे निर्धारित करता है वेलबींग ऑफ ऑल, वासुदेव कुटुंबकम। और इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम जो है वो काफी रिच रेपोजिटरी है हमारे वैदिक मैथमेटिक्स, आयुर्वेदा, योगा, लिटरेचर और इंडिजिनियस प्रैक्टिसेस का। विकसित भारत, एक डेवलप और इंडिया का हम जो सपना 2047 में देख रहे हैं, इसका राम सर ने बहुत ही अच्छे से पहले से एक्सप्लेन कर दिया है, जिसमें कि हमारे जो की एलिमेंट्स हैं, इकोनॉमिक प्रॉस्पेरिटी, सोशल डेवलपमेंट, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, कल्चरल एंड एथिकल ग्रोथ, ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट और ग्लोबल लीडरशिप है, जिसमें कि हमें मेनली 4 जो कंपोनेंट्स है, इकोनॉमिक, सोशल, ह्यूमन और एजुकेशन, इसके ऊपर ज्यादा फोकस करके चलना है। नेक्स्ट हमारा इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम जो है वो मेनली 4-5 कंपोनेंट्स का रिच एक डेपोजिटरी है, जिसमें आयुर्वेदा, वैदिक मैथमेटिक्स, ट्रेडिशनल आर्ट्स और क्राफ्ट्स आता है, एनवायरनमेंट मैनेजमेंट आता है, फिलोसफी की एंड स्पिरिचुअलिटी आती है। ये सब जो है ये कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं इंसान की होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट में, और एड्रेस करते हैं कि आने वाले जो ग्लोबल चैलेंजेस हैं उसको हम एक ट्रेडिशनल विजडम के साथ साथ कैसे उसको आगे अप्रोच कर सकते हैं। जब बात NEP 2020 विजन की आती है, एक ऐसी पॉलिसी हमारी भारत ने 2020 में दी थी, जिसने कि इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम को एक बहुत ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल दिया है। This NEP 2020 has given the main focus on the Indian knowledge system in every and each domain of the education, from promotion of IKS to the critical thinking and creativity, and from the integration of IKS into education to the social innovations. NEP 2020 has given the tremendous work. In paragraph 4.27, Indian knowledge system includes the tribal knowledge and indigenous ways of learning. This not only preserves the system but also leverage them for contemporary education. Also in paragraph 11.2, the education moves the content from critical thinking to problem solving and making the content more creativity in the multidisciplinary way. This emphasizes in the context of building capacities for social innovations that address local as well as the global challenges. In the paragraph 4.29, the efforts were made to ensure that the courses and programs were already in the IKS way for the holistic approach, and this combines the ancient wisdom with the modern learning to foster innovative thinking. And in the paragraph 22.15, the students are encouraged to pursue the entrepreneurship and innovations, linking the education with the social responsibility and entrepreneurship. Here are the literature review of my study. Narya and Narayana in 2017 suggested that traditional arts form stimulates creative expression and innovations. Similarly, Sundaram in 2020 actually gave the highlights of creative and innovation study in his paper. Joshi and Kumar also underscored the role of community-based learning in exposing students to grassroots innovations. And Mishra in 2023 argued that empowering youth with the traditional knowledge system leads to inclusive social innovations. And thus the research questions forms as the how can IKS be integrated into the educational curricula to enhance creativity and social innovation among Indian youth, and how can the digital and technological tools be utilized in the educational settings to facilitate the teaching learning of IKS for creativity and social innovative outcomes. And hereby we propose the research objectives as to propose curricular modules or activities that integrate IKS into current educational system that promotes creativity, social innovations among Indian youth, and to identify those digital tools that are available for facilitating the teaching and learning of IKS in the educational settings. And for this, the research methodology encompasses a multifaceted approach to develop comprehensive understanding of IKS.
Kindly continue. It's already 6 minutes.
Sure, ma'am. just brief from my discussions. ये सारी स्ट्रैटेजीज हमने डिस्कशन से इम्पोर्टेंट की है कि हमने करिकुलम कैसे डिजाइन करना चाहिए। इसके लिए क्या क्या हमें एग्जाम्पल्स के तौर पे मैंने बताया कि कैसे हम साइंस में आयुर्वेदा और हिस्ट्री में अगर हम एशियन इंडियन सिविलाइजेशन को लाएंगे तो हमारे करिकुलम और कंटेंट इंटीग्रेशन में आईकेएस कैसे रोल प्ले कर सकता है। पेडागोजिकल अप्रोचेस जो हैं जिसमें हम इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम का काफी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि स्टोरी टेलिंग, पंचतंत्र टेल जो कि मॉरल वैल्यू और क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग से आती है। टीचर ट्रेनिंग डेवलपमेंट, क्योंकि टीचर्स जो हैं वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं और हमारे इंडिया की विकसित भारत में। तो टीचर्स की वर्कशॉप्स इस तरीके की होनी चाहिए कि टीचर्स के माइंडसेट इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम के हिसाब से हो, उनकी इंकरेजमेंट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप्स वैसे होनी चाहिए, कोलैबोरेटिव लर्निंग आनी चाहिए बच्चों में ताकि वो इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी प्रोजेक्ट्स भी कर सकें। और पॉलिसीज जैसे कि हमारी एनईपी 2020 है, इसने तो बहुत ही अच्छा रोल प्ले किया है आईकेएस को हमारे करंट एजुकेशन सेक्टर में लाना का। और टेक्नोलॉजी टेक्नोलॉजी को हम नहीं बोल सकते कि जैसे डिजिटल एरा चल रहा है, एआर वीआर जो है वो एक बहुत खास रोल प्ले करता है, स्पेशली हमारी एशियन एशियन सिविलाइजेशन को लाने में। अभी हम डिजिटल प्रिजर्वेशन ऑफ हेरिटेज रिसोर्सेज भी कर रहे हैं। असेसमेंट जो है वो जैसे कि एनपी बोलता है 360 डिग्री असेसमेंट होनी चाहिए बच्चों की। इन सब के थ्रू हम बच्चों में आईक्यूएस जो है वो अच्छे से ला सकते हैं। और नेक्स्ट जो मेरा था ऑब्जेक्टिव कि डिजिटल टूल्स कैसे होने चाहिए, तो डिजिटल टूल्स में जैसे इंटरेक्टिव पैनल, जिसमें कि एग्जांपल के तौर में मैं देना चाहती हूँ प्रेडजी को। ये काफी अच्छा एक डायनेमिक प्रेजेंटेशन होता है जिससे स्टूडेंट्स जो है वो विजुअली आईकेएस की प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशंस को देख सकते हैं। डिजिटल स्टोरी टेलिंग हो सकती है जिसमें स्टोरी जंपर बहुत अच्छा होता है, स्टोरी जंपर। और एनसीईआरटी ने एक एप्लीकेशन लॉन्च की है ई जादुई पिटारा, उसमें बहुत अच्छी छोटे बच्चों के लिए स्टोरी टेलिंग होती है, वो बहुत अच्छा रोल प्ले कर सकते हैं जिसमें हमारे एशियन जो पुरानी स्टोरीज हैं उनको बच्चों तक लाया जा सकता है। कोलैबोरेटिव प्लेटफॉर्म्स होते हैं जैसे पैडलेट्स वगैरह हम देख सकते हैं जो कि बच्चों में पीयर लर्निंग और डाइवर्स पर्सपेक्टिव्स लाते हैं। स्क्रैच हम लीगो माइंड्स फ्रॉम जो होते हैं, ये सारे इंडियन जो पर्सपेक्टिव्स हैं ला सकते हैं। जैसे स्क्रैच जो है इसका मैं मेंशन करना चाहूंगी कि ये इंडियन जो एशियंट इन्वेंशंस थे जैसे वाटर क्लॉक, आयरन पिलर, इन सबको काफी अच्छे से ये बिल्ड करता है। ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज जैसे स्वयं।
Already crossed the time limit.
Okay,
Let's
ma'am.
move.
Just my key recommendations of the paper. These are the key recommendations of my paper: teacher training, curriculum integration, digital tools, assessment and policy support. And in the last, I would like to conclude that विकसित भारत का सपना अब हम सबने जब सजाया है तो हमने पूरा भी करना है। और ये सपना हमारा इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम, हमारी जो भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा है, उसके बिना पूर्ण नहीं हो सकता। वी एज ए एजुकेटर, एज ए टीचर, हमारा ये रोल प्ले करता है कि हम अपनी पुरानी भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा को अपने मॉडर्न चैलेंजेस के साथ लाएं और इस तरीके से हम अपने विकसित भारत का जो हमारा सपना है इसको पूर्ण कर सके। दीज आर द रेफरेंसेस। थैंक यू सो मच, and thank you CTPD and the chairperson and the co-chairperson for patiently listening me. Thank you.
Thank you, Parinika ma'am. The next paper presenter is Dr. Anjana Agarwal.
Is she there? I think she's not there. Rosie
Ma'am,
ma'am?
she's not there, ma'am.
हाँ, तो please take the next one.
The next paper presenter is Ramani Ranjana, research scholar, KR Mangalam University. Ramani Ranjana.
Okay.
You can start the presentation, Ramani, Ranjana.
Kindly unmute yourself. You are on mute. Ramani ji, please unmute yourself.
रमानी सर अनम्यूट कीजिए, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
It is audible now?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay, ma'am. Just let me share the documents. I have already shared the documents by WhatsApp. So let me again share the documents. I'm not able to get the documents. Screens, options. It is screen documents, whiteboards, advanced, iPhones, videos, second persons, computer audios. Okay.
Sir, you can share your presentation with me.
Okay, let me share my presentations.
We'll take the next presenter. Till then. Shall we go with next presenter, ma'am?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Sir, till then, you can please share your PPT with ma'am, Rosie ma'am, in the WhatsApp group.
That I have already done. So now it is share the. It is now visible, ma'am.
No, sir, it's not visible. सर आप इसके बाद प्रेजेंट कर लीजिएगा. इट विल टेक 1 to 2 minutes to download.
Okay, right, ma'am, right, ma'am. It is visible now.
Now it's visible.
Can I go?
Yeah, yes, sir, you can.
Okay. First of all, my express deep happiness with the team because I am a corporate person and you have given me that opportunity to express my feeling, my thoughts towards the Vikshit Bharat 2047. Basically, when I'm a corporate man, I am thinking in that way. But a lot of intellectual people in the academic world, they have expressed their view in a very talented form, in talented way. I don't think my presentation how it will be, but practically what I think, but what I understood, basically I try to express that in front of you. So first of all, by describe myself, basically I'm a corporate person and finance professionals having more than 25 years experience. And besides that, I am also a thinker and a writer. So many books I have written, and now I am pursuing my PhD in KR Mangalam universities. So my thought basically is what I am found the gap between academic study and real action world. Basically, Indian education lack integration between academic and corporate worlds. It is because India is not able to produce more successful entrepreneurs. It is because we are still struggling to become a global influential economy. Our young generation has the aspiration of getting a good job instead of being entrepreneurs. So an integration model of curriculum help to achieve these objectives. So the Indian education curriculum is influenced by Western culture because we have ruled by British for more than 200 years. It is because our complete educational curriculum is related to them. So we are following the format and design of a British education structures. This education structure was designed by the British to keep Indians as slaves. It is because our young generation is making their sorry. We are following the that is the by the British to keep Indian as slave. It is because our young generation is making their roadmap to getting a good job. It is because our curriculum is not linked to the practical action world. So to connect the academics with the practical, we have to bring corporate people in the academic arena. So corporate learning management system and academic learning management systems both the academic and corporate worlds have their own learning management system. Learning management system are different for both academic and corporate people. Both are used as different tools for learning and implementing. For corporate employees, software like Oracle ERP, SAP ERP, and many other software used. But for the academic purpose, teachers use blackboards or smartboards to describe the theory without any practical implementations. Corporate objective to train employees to according to the corporate objective with risk analysis, but academics have no risk analysis. The study is for certification because academics have no in-depth knowledge of how to manage risks. In many organizations, they have their own training institutes to train their employee to avoid any risks. They do not trust academic educations to achieve the goals. What is the best difference between corporate LMS versus academic LMS? Primary focus providing online materials for training and development specifically in professional setting. And for the academic LMS, learning software with focus on a higher and lower education can vary between meeting educational standard and providing administration assistance in and out of a classroom. Features: performance reporting, performance timeline, e-commerce integration, mobile device integration. Support a wide array of lesson format, discussion forum, grading system, and a gamification support of an online course. Example: SAP, Cornerstones on Demand, Schoology, Google Classroom, and Canvas. Who has the right? For the professional company and non-profit organization looking to train employee or the customers. Educational institution looking to provide learning opportunity student or logical support to the teachers. So generate entrepreneurs. India is a highly populated country with a population of around 140 crores. Out of the total population, the young population is around 95 crores. So for this young population, employment is a big challenge for the government. This is always a political and a social issue. So it is a big challenge for the government to establish a platform to give employment to the young people. So to generate employment, it is very essential to create entrepreneurs. So to create entrepreneurs, our academics need must be robust. As per world data 2013, the percentage of entrepreneurs is around 13% compared to the previous record of 5%. But it is the biggest challenge for the government. Around 70-80% also are able to continue their business, and the rest 92% lost their plan. Many institutions have done their research to find the real cause of these failures. The major challenge is a lack of practical experience, managing money, managing manpower, managing systems, and these can be learned from academic platform, but due to poor academic curriculum, the success rate of startup units is very unimpressive. The failure of startup ventures is the biggest concern in India. To boost the economy, the government has launched many incentives for startup, but only 5 to 10% of startup ventures are able to survive. More than 90 to 95% startup either lost or vanished from the market. Okay, ma'am. So world entrepreneurs, this is the percentage. And again, I am coming to the GDP of India, sector-wise GDP. Basically, in that GDP, we can understand how basically Indian entrepreneurs coming to the basically manufacturing sector is very lacking in India. So government is taking initiatives to make the things the right way so that many entrepreneurs come to the manufacturing, so that the employment generation can be very in a more driving ways. So unemployment increasing day by day, heavy population, we have very heavy population, so unemployment is increasing day by days. So this is the biggest challenge for the governments to like someone is now a lot of engineering college are there as example, a lot of engineering college are there, and people getting the engineering degree, but they are not able to get a good job as per their qualifications. So in that scenario, definitely then they have that kind of a confidence to be a entrepreneurs, so that they are able to give employment to the lot of people instead of looking for the job. But unfortunate part is that 99% students now coming into the markets and getting trying to get the job, and what kind of a job they are getting, they are taking that job. So again, I'm coming to the some literatures review by peoples like recently someone that is Abhinas Panda, IIM Kasipur, and do the research bringing academic and corporate world closures. That is in 2018, and that is the hypothesis basically pre-academic bring both academic and corporate community closures.
Sorry to interrupt. It's already time limit is it's already 7 minutes.
Madam, thank you very much. In this way, I am concluding my presentation. Thank you very much to all of you giving me such an opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. The next paper presenter is Dr. Pravesh Lata ma'am, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Education, GD Goenka University, Gurugram.
With Parvesh ma'am, I think Rekha ma'am is also there.
Yeah, I think Rekha ma'am will present.
Rekha Kaushal ma'am.
Yes, Rekha Kaushal.
Okay.
Yes, Rekha ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me share my screen. Please let me know, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, fine. Just let me share it once again. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. So, good evening, one and all present here. Our topic is integrating ancient wisdom for Vikshit Bharat pathways to sustainability and equity. I am presenting on behalf of Dr. Pravesh Lata and myself, Dr. Rekha Kaushal from GD Goenka University School of Liberal Arts. So, when we talk about ancient Indian knowledge system and ancient Indian wisdom, the vision of Vikshit Bharat or a developed India is rooted in achieving the sustainability and equity. So, India, with its rich cultural and historical heritage, has been a beacon of ancient wisdom that offers profound insights into the sustainable living. So, Vikshit Bharat can only be achieved by integrating the ancient Indian wisdom by which we can achieve the sustainability and equity. So when we talk about sustainability in ancient Indian wisdom, we need to talk about ecological wisdom in our Vedas and Upanishads. So if we talk about, first of all, Rig Veda, one of the oldest texts of human civilization, it provides a profound understanding of the relationship between mankind and nature. We'll have to be one with the nature because we consider the nature as Mother Earth. In several hymns, the earth is revered as a mother. We call it Prithvi, and humans are considered as their children, as her children. So we need to interconnect with the nature, and this interconnectedness is with all the things on the earth, including rivers, trees, animals, birds, and humans. This will lead to the environmental stewardship. The hymns of portrayal of earth as a nurturing mother creates a moral responsibility for human beings to care for the environment. So this doesn't mean that we only have to use the resources of the nature. It is our responsibility also to serve the earth and also to be one with the earth. Then if we talk about Atharva Veda for sustainable practices, Atharva Veda is known for its practical implications, also contains profound insights into ecology and sustainability. We need to use resources with sustainability. The Atharva Veda discusses the balance between human needs and the nature's capacity to provide resources. Mahatma Gandhi also gives this quote that earth has everything for the needs of the man, but not for the greeds of the man. We also talk about here about the pollution and purification. The Atharva Veda also addresses the concerns about pollution. It contains hymns that describes the purification of water, air, earth, and suggests practices to maintain cleanliness and balance, and also about the preservation of the biodiversity. If we talk about the philosophical insights from the Upanishads, the concept of unity, which is Brahman, and non-dualism and ethical responsibility, these are the things that have been given from the ancient Indian system, Indian knowledge system, to all the human beings through Upanishads. And relevance of the contemporary to the contemporary environmental practices is deforestation, pollution control, and biodiversity, which has been an integral part of Indian knowledge system. Then we talk about traditional agricultural practices. So agriculture forms the backbone of Indian economy that we all know, and ancient Indian agricultural practices such as crop rotation, organic farming, and natural pest control methods reflect a deep understanding of ecological balance. And we talk about crop rotation, which gives us nutrient management and pest control and disease prevention. These are given by the ancient Indian system of agricultural practices. Pest control and disease prevention also plays a significant role, where we reduce the pests and we reduce then the diseases in the crops. Because if we use much more pests, it is going to be in the human body only, and then it is going to have the repercussions. Natural pest control should be utilized because these are harmonizing with the nature, where we can use the companion planting, botanical practices, and encouraging predators, natural predators like we can say sparrows or other these kind of things which really, these kind of birds which really help us to have the these are the natural predators which help the crops to grow. Then we talk about alignment with the global movement towards sustainable agriculture, where food security, climate resilience, and sorry.
Ma'am, it's already 5 minutes. You can conclude it.
Okay. When we just give me 2 more minutes, we talk about water management system. Here, the water management system comes from the ancient Indian system. Here, I have given the pictures of step wells. Rani Ki Vav is one of the step wells in the Rajasthan, which have been given the status of national UNESCO heritage site. Then we have tank irrigation system in Tamil Nadu. We have to go with equity through indigenous knowledge system, taking governance models in ancient India, equity for social education, and health and well-being lessons from the Ayurveda. I'm skipping this slide. So global relevance of ancient Indian system relies in non-violence, living in harmony, which is Vasudeva Kutumbakam and the Sarvodaya. And if we use this ancient Indian knowledge system, we can lead the world in advocating for the sustainable and equitable development by sharing the rich national heritage of ancient wisdom at national forums. These are the references of my paper. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
In addition to this, because I am co-author along with Dr. Rekha, I would like to tell on 100 rupees back note, you have one image that is Darika Wow. That is one of the water storage system, which is printed on the 100 rupees back note. So this is the ancient wisdom which we need to preserve and need to again regenerate. Thank you.
One more thing I want to mention here, on the behalf of all the presenters, I would request moderators to please convey this message to the conference organizers to at least give 10 minutes to present our paper, because 5 minutes is a very less time.
Actually, we are already having 15 presented. 15 to 18.
I know, ma'am. I know, but still, sometimes what we want to convey is not conveyed because of the shortage of time. Anyhow, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha, ma'am. Now the next presenter is Pawan Kumar Mishra, research scholar, Jagannath University, Jhajjar.
I think Pawan Kumarji is not there.
We will go with the next presenter. And the last but not the least presenter is Ramesh, research scholar, Jamia Millia. I think Ramesh sir is there, ma'am.
Ramesh ji is there.
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
Good evening, sir.
मैंने आप अपनी पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन आपके पास भेजी थी।
सर आपने कब भेजी है?
मैंने करीबन हो गया 1-2 घंटा हो गया।
सर आप
रमेश
लोगों
के नाम से
क्या था ये पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन भेजने के लिए, क्योंकि काफी डाउनलोड होने में टाइम लगता है।
अच्छा कोई इशू नहीं है मैम, मैं एक बार खुद ही अपनी ही जो है एक बार ओपन कर लेता हूँ। 1 सेकंड अगर आप मुझे दे दो। मैं शेयर स्क्रीन कर रहा हूँ मैम। इज इट विजिबल और नॉट? क्या दिख रही है स्क्रीन में?
विजिबल सर।
जी जी। नमस्कार, मेरा नाम रमेश गुप्ता है। मैं रिसर्च स्कॉलर हूँ जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया में, और आज का टॉपिक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक है जिसका जिक्र आज के समय में होना चाहिए, और वो है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप।
सर इज इट पॉसिबल आप अपना वीडियो ऑन कर लीजिए?
यस श्योर।
थैंक यू।
मैं कर चुका हूँ, शायद दिख रहा हूँ आपको।
हाँ जी यू कैन स्टार्ट।
जी जी। तो आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, और वो टॉपिक है कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कैसे आज के जमाने में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और कैसे इंडिजीनियस नॉलेज सिस्टम, या कई लोग इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम भी कह देते हैं इसे, वो कैसे इसे आगे बढ़ा सकते। तो सबसे पहले ये समझने की आवश्यकता है कि आज के समय में इसकी बात हम कर क्यों रहे हैं, क्यों बात हो रही है कि भी हम ये करें। एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पे बहुत बातें हो रही हैं, और एआई पे बहुत बातें हो रही हैं, क्यों हो रही है? पहली बात जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है कि इंडिया की जो पॉपुलेशन है उसका साइज बहुत ह्यूज है, बहुत ह्यूज है, और इतने ह्यूज पॉपुलेशन के लिए गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स अरेंज कर पाना इट्स क्वाइट इम्पॉसिबल। एक एग्जांपल मेरे सामने एक इंटरव्यू आया था, बहुत समय पहले था, कि जब सुंदर पिचाई जी गूगल के हेड बने थे, सीईओ बने थे, तो उनकी मदर से पूछा गया कि आपको कैसा लग रहा है, तो शी सेड कि उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे एक ही दुख है कि मेरे बेटे को सरकारी नौकरी नहीं है। अभी बड़ी डायलेमा वाली सिचुएशन है कि सीईओ बनना गूगल का और इतने ऊंचे मुकाम पे पहुंचना, और फिर भी हमारे अंदर ये पेरेंट्स के मन में ये फीलिंग है कि गवर्नमेंट जॉब नहीं लगी। तो इस डायलेमा से हम बाहर नहीं आ पाएंगे, तो दिक्कतें रहेंगी। तो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को हम मानकर चलते हैं एक ऐसा जो है वाइडली एक्नॉलेज थिंग है, जिसमें हम मानकर चलते हैं कि हम बिजनेस की तरफ जा रहे हैं और इनकम लाएंगे, सोसाइटी के अंदर वैल्यू जनरेट करके देंगे, ये चीजें हैं। तो इसमें हम यहां मान रहे हैं कि एक इंडिविजुअल होगा या स्मॉल ग्रुप होंगे जो ओरिजिनल पाथ को क्रिएट करेंगे न्यू बिजनेस के लिए। तो इंडिया के बाद इस बात पर जोर दिया गया, रिकमेंडेशन दी गई बहुत सारी, जैसे रिपोर्ट 1964-48 में आई थी, जिसे हम लोग 66 जो कोठारी कमीशन की रिपोर्ट है, 68 मेंशन हो गया इसमें वोकलाइजेशन पे जोर था। 1986 में जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई, इसमें भी वोकेशनल एजुकेशन पर, कंप्यूटर एजुकेशन पर, ओपन एजुकेशन सिस्टम पर जोर दिया गया था। एनसीएफ 2005 में भी हम देखते हैं कि जोर दिया गया कि हम कैसे आईटीआई, पॉलिटेक्निक्स वगैरह को जोड़ेंगे, वोकेशनल कोर्स को कैसे अलग अलग एंट्री एग्जिट पॉइंट, जैसे कि अब न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में जोर दिया जा रहा है कि अगर कोई बच्चा पहले छोड़ रहा है तो आप उसे सर्टिफिकेट दे दीजिए, बाद में डिप्लोमा की बात है और डिग्री की बात है। और इसके बाद हम देखते हैं करिकुलम जो है वो अप टू डेट होना चाहिए और फ्लेक्सिबल होना चाहिए, और इसमें जो है फ्लेक्सिबल मॉड्यूल्स, सर्टिफिकेट, कोर्स वगैरह देने की बात की गई थी। तो यहाँ देख रहे हैं कि अलग अलग मेंटरशिप की बात की गई। फिर आई नेशनल पॉलिसी ऑन स्किल डेवलपमेंट 2009 में, जिसमें ये कहा गया कि स्किल इंडिया की जरूरत है, और इसमें स्किल बेस्ड कोर्स को बढ़ावा देने पर जोर दिया गया। और उसके बाद हम देखते हैं नेशनल स्किल क्वालिफिकेशन फ्रेमवर्क 2013 में आया, जिसमें ये पाया गया कि 19 से 24 की एज में मात्र 5% लोग ही जो है वो स्किल्ड है, किसी काम को करने लायक है। यूएसए में 52% है, जर्मनी में 75% है और साउथ कोरिया में 96% है। अब ये फ्रेमवर्क क्या कहता है 2013 का, वो भी देख लेते हैं कि भी स्टूडेंट को वोकेशनल एजुकेशन की तरफ लेके जाइए आप। दूसरा, स्टूडेंट को वोकेशनल स्कूल्स में सिखाने की बात की, जिसे अब इम्प्लीमेंट किया जा रहा है न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के अंदर, बैकलेस डेज वगैरह के नाम से। प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड लर्निंग पर जोर दिया जा रहा है। सीबीएसई ने इसको लेकर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को लेकर अपना एक अलग सब्जेक्ट भी लॉन्च किया है 2003 में क्लास 11th एंड 12th के लिए। और उसके बाद हम देख रहे हैं न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 का भी जो एम यही है, कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग कराई जाए और एक स्टूडेंट के अंदर जो है वो होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट हो और उसका विकास हो। उसके बाद हम देखते हैं इसमें, तो यहाँ पर 6 से 8 के लिए सर्वे मेथड्स वगैरह, सैम्पलिंग मेथड वगैरह, वोकेशनल क्राफ्ट को, कारपेंट्री वगैरह को और 10 बैकलेस डेज पीरियड की बात की गई जिसमें वो बच्चा सीखे। और करंट में एनसीएफएससी 2023 में ये पब्लिश हुई इसकी रिपोर्ट 2023 में, और इन्होंने जो कहा, फोकस किया कि वर्कशॉप होनी चाहिए, प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग पर जोर दिया जाना चाहिए और ट्रेडिशनल वर्क की तरह हम वापस जाए, अपने खानदानी कामों को करें, क्या परेशानी है उसमें, उससे जो है आगे बढ़ाएं।
रमेश सर काइंडली 5 मिनट हो गया है,
तो बस मैं ऐसे वाइंड अप कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पर 2019 में ईएमसी एक एंटरप्रेन्योर माइंडसेट करिकुलम दिल्ली में लॉन्च हुआ क्लास 9 से 12 तक, ये बताना मेरा मकसद। इसमें उन्होंने बिजनेस ब्लास्टर पर जोर दिया, जिसमें उन्होंने स्टेप 1 में जो है 2019 में 24 स्कूलों में लॉन्च किया, स्टेप 2 में 2019 में इसे इन्वॉल्व किया, स्टेप 3 में मॉनिटर किया इसे, स्टेप 4 में अप्रैल 2020 में कोविड पीरियड में ही इसे टेस्ट किया, 5 में इन्होंने मई 2020 में टेस्ट किया और उसे डिजिटली देने की कोशिश की। ईएमसी की वर्कशॉप्स कराई गई और आज हम देख रहे हैं कि ये बूट कैंप्स वगैरह कराए गए, जो मैं दिखाना चाह रहा हूँ। बिजनेस ब्लास्टर्स में बच्चों को 2000 रुपए मिल रहे हैं, क्लास 11th और 12th के बच्चों को फंड किया जा रहा है ताकि वो अपनी इन एक्टिविटी को कर सके। और इस तरीके से हम एक विजन के साथ जो है काम कर सकते हैं, जिसमें एक बॉस का एटीट्यूड नहीं होगा हमारा कि आप ये काम करिए, बल्कि मिलकर काम करेंगे, कोलैबोरेटिव वाला काम आ रहा है। तो मैं अपनी बात को यहीं विराम देना चाहूंगा क्योंकि समय की थोड़ी सी बाध्यता है। थैंक यू सो मच, आपने मुझे मंच दिया अपनी बात रखने के लिए। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू रमेश सर। मैम, all the paper presenter have presented their paper.
Okay. Thank you to all. Yes, ma'am, you can proceed further.
Ramesh Gupta sir, you can stop sharing the screen. We eagerly await insights and reflection on the proceedings of this session. May I invite Dr. Bhatt sir for the closing remarks.
Ji, thank you very much. Wonderful, brilliant talks, and of course, there is a lot of curiosity. I'm thankful to all the panelists and for the organizers coming together and trying their best to discuss different issues related to Indian knowledge system and how we can use those sutras or those, elements that are already available in Indian knowledge system, classical system, but were ignored, and now we are there again. That's really a wonderful news. I really enjoyed the session, and I must say that I really hope that some papers have been brilliant, and I hope that the original, sometimes we really need to use the original kind of information, and many have done that really. And I'm sure that when you write your paper, then it will be in elaboration. It will be much more. Here, time problem was there, but nevertheless, you were able to convey your, work, what you are doing and indulging in. Wonderful that you have brought whole India together from Jammu Kashmir to South India, and then I saw somebody also from other parts of India, of course, Central Himalaya. So this is really has been very nice. And one suggestion I would do that the paper of I think the faculties, Professor Rekha Kaushalji and Parvesh Lataji is wonderful also, but I think you gave some examples from current developments or that are available there. Maybe the whatever is happening whatever is available in Rajasthani culture, or in Central Himalayan culture, and even Jammu and Kashmir and other parts of India, and even in central part of India, like along the Ganges. Lot of work is there, but also we have this living tradition, by the way. Maybe you can also mention that. That would be really, you remember that famous incident with Salman Khan, shooting a deer, and then what happened thereafter. So a lot of work is being done on these communities also in Europe. And I'm really happy that you have brought up, this issue. And another part was also interesting, that entrepreneurship and the education. This is a very crucial issue for any country like India. I think, so the last presenter also provided some information. The quality, I can share you, please don't feel bad about that. Because we are all anyway, in the process of learning, me and all other people. So we always are like colleagues and students of, of the text or the knowledge system. It is very true that when Airbus, because I live in Hamburg and work in Hamburg, and I remember in 2002-3 when they started hiring Indian engineers, it was, everybody was excited. And you would be amazed to know, only in Hamburg for Airbus, over 500 Indian engineers are working today. 500, which is very huge number for any European institution or companies. But one problem, because I also go there to give little talks, the problem is exactly what the gentleman said, that is there employability there? Because the standard, we have to come up out of this, some practices that had developed in 70s and 80s, and with due to some political, changes that I remember when I was a student in Uttar Pradesh, Nakal Virodhi Kanun was brought in, and then next government came and they brought it, and then everything went upside down. So this is just a small remark, but I really enjoyed the session. Thank you very much. And I wish you all the very best. But one last thing, if you have any question or any information you want to know, you can always write to me and I will be happy to provide. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vatsa, for your insightful closing remarks. Your words have provided us with a profound perspective on the significance of this session. Sir, please accept as a token of gratitude from the organizers of the conference this virtual memento. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm honored, really.
We are indeed gaining a wealth of knowledge today. May I invite Dr. Anuj sir to summarize the session and address the participant of the session.
First of all, thank you, Rosie madam. And really, you have invited me, and Professor Ram is just elaborate all the things that what is the possibilities of Indian knowledge system. And really, it is very wonderful that the CTPT just organizing this international conference in dual mode. really it is a very great, because I have listened to all the participants, and they have explored the so many ideas, and they have given the very good idea about the Indian knowledge system, sustainability development. Even there is the Paraniti and Mercy Fernandez is also some clues on about the Indian knowledge system, and they have just philosophical aspects they have just achieved. Dr. Swati, unfortunately, they have not just taken his. I think she could not make his presentation here. But Lubhan Sadaf Naqvi just provide so many aspects about the sustainability development, even transgender. He touch what is the position of transgender in India, and this is the we can say it is a big challenge for us, because in inclusive nature of NEP, then we should incorporate all the things. So there should be some new research in this field, and even there was the Priyanka Sharma just exploring the some possibilities of the role of IKS philosophical creativity, and even sees about the Vedas and philosophical aspects she explored. And even some aspects as Parvez and Rama Gupta and I think Ramani and Ranjan is also explore the sustainable development feature of the Indian education system. Because Indian education system, if we think about that, which is started in our culture and it is heritage. But there are so many aspects in Indian knowledge system, such as our architect, and there is a very big because it should be explored in the world forum also. And Rambhat will work on this. I think it will be because he is from the other in the abroads, and architect, even Indian foods, and because NEP just focus on the what is the local and how can we just make our vocal in local languages also. And this is the aspects, even the Vedic mathematics, and we don't know about the what is the mathematical system of Indian mathematical, because if you go through the mathematical system of Indian Kerala school especially, and if you think about that, there was a Kattapai Adi system, and how can we just add and all the thing, and even we translate these things in modern, that will be the big challenges for our Indian council system. Arthashastra itself is the very we can say marvelous book and epic for the even economic and even the dynasty. How can we just make our people happy in our country? That is also we can say that is the Indian. So we should touch all the things, because we rejuvenate these knowledge system in present scenario, and even agriculture system. There is also need to improve the agriculture system. How can we collaborate the Indian agriculture system in modern technology? That is the big challenges in our country. So we think that how can we fostering the society through the Indian knowledge system? That is the big challenges in this. So I think the presenter just focuses on these aspects also, and I welcome. Really, it was a very good. I have listened all the things, and I very good. Everybody is winner. I think in my point of view, but they need to just explore the new facts about the Indian, because sometimes we can just, if I will talk of the new recent word, because autophagy is the new concept, and in 2017, somebody just taking the Nobel Prize on this concept. But we started in our ancient system also, autophagy. If you go there, we always just practice on this, because we are taking some fast, Monday fast, Sunday fast, Tuesday fast. But the autophagy concept they have given, and then what is the significance of the fast in Indian system? So it should be explored. We think about the deeply, and we have so many buildings also, even the the water, there was some resources, and they have given the one, I think Ramani Ranjan is just, I think another constant is just showing that, and you have added that 1 rupees and behind that the picture is also there. So it is a Indian system. Even the if we talk about the Jantar Mantra in Indian agri system, how can we calculate and what is the significance? And they have just given the accurate timing. What is the logic behind it? How can we just we connected with our stars, with our mathematician? They exactly calculate the distance of sun to our earth. So that should be explored and that should be found, and how we calculate, how can we can say interpret the in meaningful in that time, in this time. So I happy and I listen and I thank you all of you, because you have just conducted a wonderful session. Even the moderator is also just taking the lead, and they have just Manes, she was very we can say good orator, and I thank to all the people those who are Rambhat is also. I've listened to you, and yeah, really your session was very informative, and even the other and Professor Khatter is there, and welcome ma'am also. And I think now she is not. Could not see her faces on the screen, but she was present here. And really, I again thanks to CTPVD chairman and Sanjay and all the other colleagues, those who are just working behind on the this scene. I thank you once again, and you have invited me, and I really, and everybody is just presented their paper in very well manners and timely. They have just given this, and really it was a very less time, but it should be all. It's my consideration to all participants. If you talk within 2 and 3 minutes, it will be enough for everything. And 5 minutes is very big time to just explain your idea in the online platform. So you should always conclude your talk within the 5 minutes. That will be sufficient for everybody. Thank you once again. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Your insights have been profound and shall serve as a guiding post to one and all in the session. Please accept as a token of gratitude, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I really accepted this with the zeal, and heartily I thank you, all of you. Yes.
As we approach the conclusion of today's technical session, we have special moment to acknowledge the outstanding contribution of Dr. Jugnu Khatter ma'am as the convener of Track 1.2 Indian Knowledge System for Action, Building a Sustainable and Equitable Vikshit Bharat. Your dedication, expertise, and leadership have played a crucial role in the success of this track. And we are honored to present you with a virtual memento as a token of appreciation, ma'am. Dr. Jugnu, ma'am. Ma'am is there?
Ma'am is there. Ma'am, you can mute yourself. Is it okay, ma'am, now? Yes.
Thank you so much. Thanks for this memento, and thank you so much. And should we proceed? Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. We want to take a moment to honor Dr. Sakshi ma'am, your exceptional contribution as the co-convener of Track 1.2, and we are deeply grateful for your support. Please accept as a token of gratitude from the organizers of the conference this virtual memento.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
We want to take a moment to honor Dr. Sunita Arora ma'am, your exceptional contributions as the co-convener of the Track 1.2, and we are deeply grateful for your support. Please accept as a token of gratitude from the organizers of the conference this virtual memento. I think Dr. Sunita ma'am is...
She's not in the meeting. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to draw the curtains on this enlightening technical session at CTPT Con Era 2024, it is my pleasure to invite a distinguished individual among us to express our collective gratitude and appreciation for the valuable insights we have gained today. Dr. Jugnu Khattar, ma'am, we would be honored if you could deliver the vote of thanks and expression of gratitude to the speakers and participants and summarize the essence of this session.
Thank you so much, Rosie Tika ma'am. आप सभी को सादर अभिनंदन. Very good evening to everyone, and it is my privilege on behalf of the organizing committee to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks at the conclusion of this enriching technical session on the sub-theme IKS for Action, Building a Sustainable and Equitable Vikshit Bharat. First of all, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our paper presenters for sharing their in-depth knowledge and inspiring thoughts on the importance of Indian knowledge system in driving sustainable development and equity in the modern India. Your presentations have provided us with a fresh perspective on how traditional wisdom can be integrated into contemporary practices for a more sustainable and prosperous future. A special gratitude to our session chair, Dr. Ram Prasad Bhatt, and co-chair of the session, Dr. Anuj Raj, who contributed their perspective, making this session highly engaging and thought-provoking. Your active participation is what fuels these discussions, helping us all take actionable insight back to our communities and workspaces. I also wish to acknowledge the dedication and hard work of the organizing team, especially the co-conveners of Track 1, Dr. Sakshi Vanwani Rishi and Dr. Sunita Gupta. And I would like to also acknowledge the dedication of moderator of this session, Ms. Rosie Tika, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Without your efforts, this plenary session would not have been the success that it is. And a very thanks to our organizing partners for your invaluable support, which has made this platform possible and allowed us to exchange ideas and collaboration on such a critical theme. And finally, to all the attendees, I extend my deepest thanks. Your presence and participation have added value to this session. Once again, thank you so much to all of you for joining this session. And now I would like to take an opportunity to present a memento to honor our exceptional contribution to our moderator of this session, Ms. Rosie Tika, ma'am. Ma'am, please kindly accept this memento on behalf of the CTPD India. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you, Rosie, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for attending our recent technical session. We hope you found the information valuable and the experience engaging. To ensure we continue to improve and meet your expectation, we kindly ask you to take a few moments to fill out our feedback form. Your insights and suggestions are incredibly important to us and will help shape future sessions. I would like to request all the participants to please open your camera for the group photographs. Thank you so much. And with that, we conclude this remarkable technical session. Knowledge is a journey, not a destination, and each step brings us closer to new horizons. Thank you for your active participation and unwavering enthusiasm. Enjoy the rest of the sessions at the CTPT Con Era 2024, and may your pursuit of knowledge continue to shine bright. Thank you so much, all of you.
I request everyone, once again, I would like to request everyone, please kindly join tomorrow for the valedictory session at 3 o'clock Indian Standard Time. Thank you so much.
Many thanks from my side as well, and
so
especially to Dr. Khattar Bhatiaji. I didn't mention you earlier, but you have been the person who has been communicating with me. And the moderator was wonderful today, and everybody else as well. And one more remark to the student from Jammu. I really like your paper, and it was really a kind of what I say in academic discourse, the system The system is needed. So thank you, congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Thank you, Dr. Anushka. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.